we go into the main issue, the main discussion for today, I know that you're starting this is something that you've done before, but you're doing it again. I'm talking about the hunger strike. You're commencing today, right?
No.
Okay.
No.
It's the anniversary. You're not doing it again.
Yeah, no. God,
Okay.
God forbid. It's actually 7-day hunger strike. Yes, and by the grace of God, the outcome is something that is going to impact society. We came out of that um, not because the matter was solved by the then Governor Dum Emmanuel. I was at the front. I think we had a press conference which we gave 7 days before we now commenced. By the grace of God, it was successful. Successful because people were able to understand that you can have a government and don't have governance, and that you could have people that know you and know your worth, but because everybody wants to be politically correct, they would mind lynching an innocent soul just because maybe one big man or two big men somewhere could retain their integrity, which they operate in deficit. But God saved me and the people that were with me. At the end of that hunger strike, we went to Barracks Road to do what we call March for Justice. Nobody attended to us except the DSS, and I want to thank them. We'll come to that later. And then we went to media houses. In fact, that was the first day I knew where Memories was located. Because when we came to the NTA, Memories came out to interview me and some of the victims of injustice and oppression that were with me. Unfortunately, about 3 of these cases that I handled, they have died within the period. And the people
without being attended to.
Without being attended to. Instead of attending to issues raised, people want to go for the jugular of somebody that has a voice for the people. I was actually warned to discontinue my advocacy and the style I do it, because when you solve problems for people, I like to unveil the reasons, the people behind the problem. I'm not looking for who I want to be. I know who I am. Because of the decay in moral standards and the loss of value in society, people believe that everybody should be part of the gang, part of the corruption, part of the impunity. It can never happen. God does not like remnants, and I am one. And I have survived everything that I've survived, including spiritual attacks, physical attacks. I've lost all my properties, lost everything. But I'm beginning afresh, and I want to announce that by the grace of God, this very month, to mark that 1-year anniversary, we are beginning a podcast that will deal with the kind of issues that will transform society, and will be much more than ever before give voice to the voiceless in a dimension that has been unknown in this part of the world. And I believe that Akwa Ibom State is the capital of visionary leadership in Akwa in Nigeria. I'm going to prove that in our documentaries, in our spotlights. So that excellence that our forebears left for us, which has been bastardized, we are going back to it. So I want to thank you for bringing this up. We are creating what we call the Open Forum Global Community. We're going to be on social media, and we'll try to also reach out to media houses to help pick up the news and maybe give us a point to share thoughts and help humanitarian cases, like some of the cases I've been attending to, which are still there. You have a cripple, a physically challenged, whose mother has been in the mortuary for 8 years. 8 years now. And there's no hope of burying that woman because of issues surrounding, but that's what we're going to do. We have, yesterday, shockingly, I must say this because it's a breaking news. I was on a sister station with TV and radio, and while leaving I saw a couple came in, and what I heard made me cry. The mother to one of the kidnapped corps members, she sold Akara at the street corner to train the child at the Akwa Ibom State Polytechnic. Is one of those that were kidnapped, and is still there in captivity. Guess what? I was surprised to hear that we now have just 2 of the kidnapped corps members in captivity. No longer 3 that we thought.
Where's the third person?
I don't want to give you story. He's free. But
okay,
the process that he became free is a blockbuster. I'm having goose pimples as I'm speaking. It's a nightmare. We have cases. So I'm not using this program to hide that, but by the grace of God, I know memories is always memorable. You need to follow up the memories of some of the things I'm saying, because society will be more comfortable and you will drive traffic to this station. We are beginning a revolution. The status quo will never remain the same. Without resources, that's why when some person said, I'm being sponsored, I said, I don't blame them, because they are so empowered. So empowered that if 0.1% of what they have is given to me, I will affect thousands of people, and I will line them up for the world to see. And they will say, MKO is sponsored. I've sold all my property. I lost all my resources. Everything I owned in life, I lost within the last 8 years. But thank God I didn't lose my life. I was to commit suicide in 2021. God told me, why do you want to commit suicide? For this person or for that person? This is who they are. And I told God, heal me. But until you heal me, I won't die at home. I'm going to die on the road walking. And when God saw I had opportunity to be killed somewhere, when I was told something like was going to happen, I got prepared. I did my last prayer. And God saw that this guy is ready to die truly. He healed me. Spinal cord, nerve problem. Talk less of the poverty that is grinding. But have I ever carried myself like a poor person? I'm one of the most vulnerable persons in Akwa Ibom State, but no way. Why? Because there's a voice that speaks. So it's that voice that's propelling that we are beginning something new, and I want to solicit support. It's not about me. I've given my life to God to serve humanity the rest of my days. So whosoever feels, because of the position, he can oppress, he can intimidate me, I've told them enough is enough. I'm not going to just save myself, because God has saved me. I'm going to save others. I'm going to help government to know the truth on several things. We're dissecting issues as they happen, not on partisan basis, but to help the government and help the citizens to make sense. Otherwise, you see where we are now as a people? It's going to be worse unless there's intervention. So that's what one, the goodness, the good thing that this anniversary of the hunger strike is going to bring to us as a people, not just Akwa Ibom. It's a Nigerian thing, and that will have global impact. So thank you very much for bringing that, and you just
to actually go on a hunger strike for 7 days is not something that anyone would want to do. It's something that has been thought through, basically.
It wasn't thought through. It was a spiritual decision, because I don't think I've ever done 3 days dry fasting in my life, 3 days non-stop. I'm a Christian. I'm an ordained elder in the church. I teach you. I have opportunity. But above all, I'm a church cleaner. I wash the toilet, I clean the seats, do the grasses, do the gutters, and that's what God has used to bless me. Bless me. Even the day I left the gutter to go and be attacked in Selectai, I fainted while trying to distill the gutter because I had timing. My sons were there too. I fainted. I didn't want them to know. But I left that place the same day. I went to Selectai, and cultists that were unleashed by power mongers. 2 people died in the process. My vehicle was burned. I lost everything. But I ran faster than them. When they caught me finally, aged people saved me. While taking me on a run to save my life, they ran faster than me, and they told me, remove your shoes. I said, it's not my shoe. I had lost every fluid in me, and there was no more connection between my thighs and my lower legs. But here I am to tell the story. But what did the government do? Nothing but reward even the people that perpetrated that act. There's so much to say, there's so much to do. We are a Christian state, but we are more of a religious state when it comes to people talking about God and being God-centric, except for those that don't know. But if you are spiritual, you know that there's so much work to be done. I ran to Christian leaders, and let me not bring that story here. It's a gory tale, but we have solution to all of that, because finally we've all come to the bus stop. The rich and the poor are vulnerable in Nigeria. That's why Open Forum is about the vulnerable persons. But since the rich and the poor are all vulnerable, why? Poor leadership, mismanagement, corruption, terrible policies, impunity. Nobody is spared. So we must come together and do something differently. I thank God for Pastor Moino. He's doing something differently. I can attest to that so far. Yes, and we are going to help him. As when Walame Tinubu is doing something differently, it doesn't matter the same party platform, but this what is called what is it now called class suicide. Yeah, nobody will expect APC to fight APC or to prove APC, but they are doing it. They are doing it, even though it's little, but it's better than nothing. After all, there's no proof going on here with several corruption cases. That is why I'm calling on His Excellency to set up a Truth and Reconciliation Committee or commission that will help to reconcile Akwa Ibom people. We are more divided than ever before. His effort at the political class is elitist. And by the time politics comes, some of those people are going to show their true colors. It's not good enough. The real people are in crisis. Families have been destroyed. And until that happens, because most of these things are caused by people in power, both at some traditional level, religious level, the political class, that one is no go area there at the Baba. So, something deliberate, a policy framework. And because if you have a problem, nobody will be there to solve it for you in Akwa Ibom State, there is need for the Public Complaint and Anti-Corruption Commission. Let people take their matters there, an institution that can take care of it. Otherwise, for now, His Excellency is solving problems. Anything that happens, if His Excellency is not there, it's not solved. Name it. Abigail Frederick, that girl that died, 150,000 naira to bring her corpse back. Nobody had it. Nobody had initiative. Even an essay or someone essay said they contained 10,000. Insults to our souls. And the young girl was buried there until Mr. Governor came back and said, go and bring back the corpse of my daughter. 150,000 was what they said was the complaint. And you have people in the cabinet. You have people that drive in convoys. We are better than that. Look at the TRC law. 3 months out of court. It could not be resolved until he went around the 3 key component parts of the state, Afena, Ifemibum, Oro, and brought them to government house and said they were committed by himself. The governor doing everything, even God will not allow it. We will help the government, no matter whose ox is gored. We will help the government, we will help the citizens so that we can be a better society.